Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. Most of you should know that I have now picked up, on top of all of my other little endeavors, being a freight broker agent. I did a series just on freight brokers. It actually did pretty well. And because of my research, I felt very attracted to the industry and to the business. So I then sought out to become a freight broker agent. Today I want to impart to you just a little lesson, one of my first lessons in the industry. I had a trucker throw a complete temper tantrum on me. I say this is a lesson because the lesson is that I was trying to help this guy on my day off, contacting my broker on her day off, and having her turn around and say, look, here's the deal. Here's the answer, but here's the deal. You do not let people take over your day off or your off time. You work 60 hours a week. You do not have your off days dedicated to working also. Now, they told me that in training, and now this is my lesson again. So to add insult to injury, after doing all of that, the trucker then says, if this is the kind of operation you run, well, I'm never doing business with you. Well, we weren't doing business to begin with. And I want to impart to you that you, in business, and if you are working, you don't let people take advantage of you like that. No, you don't. Maybe you don't go make videos about it. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing, but I want to impart the lesson to you also. I want to chronicle the perfect attitude of how to handle that. And that is simply to tell the person, here's the reality of the situation. We do not have a business relationship. You're making demands, and I was assisting you on my day off and bothering other people on their days off. We work 60 hours a week. Now, it's supposed to be that you're not supposed to work 60 hours a week, because I know a lot of the truckers are required by law to rest, and depending on what you really carry, they might be required to rest 24 hours. I know there's this meme going around that truckers rest for 8 hours and other people work 8 hours, and they say, haha, you only work 8 hours? I call that my rest time. Well, there are other truckers who are required by law to rest a full 24 hours. And even if it's not required by law, the industry treats them as needing to rest for 24 hours because of what the material that they're shipping is A, costly, and B, they don't want them to be so tired that they could jeopardize the shipment in some sort of way. Now, for those who work, be aware that a lot of times the boss will ask you to do extra stuff. You need to sit down at the time of your interview. Is this my job description? This is what I'm applying for. This is what you are paying me for. Anything outside of that, I will not do. I know that there's 1,000 people asking for it, but you are not going to get free labor out of me. And they will try, and they will try, and they will try. They will hire 1,000 people, lay off 300, and require that the remaining 700 do the job of the other laid off 300 people. You have to set your foot down because that is not fair to you. That's not what you're there for. All right. I want you to apply this lesson to everything in life, even your marriage, especially when we're talking about abuse. And I'm not talking about this feminist notion of abuse that only women can be abused. I'm talking about real abuse where the woman systematically abuses a man over and over and over and over. And finally, when the man says no, she takes him to court and takes half his money for doing absolutely nothing. That's the reality of the situation. That's the truth of the situation. That's the logic of the situation. She did absolutely nothing. And this whole notion that she deserves half is a foolhardy notion that the state is in on because they get a cut of it. And the woman doesn't even know it. Or maybe she knows it and doesn't care. She's now destroyed the entire legacy of the family. And her parents and his parents are now left holding the bag. That's the reality of the situation. The parents are now left holding the bag too. Okay, I just wanted to impart that. I've made this like several times. The first one was like an hour, the next one was like 30 minutes, the next one was like 15 minutes. trying to get it under 6 minutes. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show.